What's good, y'all? It's your girl Drea, and you're watching ThatsSoDrea. And today I am back with another video, and this video is being content while single. And this is kind of like a cozy conversation, so if you want to get comfortable, go ahead and get a blanket because it's going to get real deep real fast, and get you something to drink. Well, as you can see, I'm not at my apartment. I am in a hotel because I'm on a business trip. But I decided I wanted to come and do a video, and I wanted to talk a little bit about being content in your season of singleness. So stay tuned. All right, so today's video is being content in your season of singleness. I knew this topic when I was going to film this video was going to be a interesting topic to talk about, because there's so many people who hate being single, who absolutely hate being single. And there are people who are not single who think that being single is a handicap, or it's a disadvantage, or an unfortunate state to be in. And so this video is about like knocking down all of those preconceived thoughts, notions, myths, and just getting a new mindset about being single. Obviously, being single, if you want it to be, is a season. It's a season. Now, if there's some people who are not desiring to get married, there are people who are not desiring to have a relationship, or be in one, and that's okay. It's okay to be single, okay? Say it with me. It's okay to be single. It is not a sin. So anyway, let's start the video out with like things people hate about being single. And let me preface this video by saying I'm single, and I will get into what I think about being single. But I'm single, so I'm speaking from a single perspective. I also I have friends and know people who have been single for quite some time, people who are recently become single, and they're like, what do I do? What is life? And I'm here to do this video. I felt very compelled, and I've been really praying like, Lord, if this is something you want me to talk about, like, give me the words. So I hope that this video finds you in whoever needs to see this, that they see it, that there's some hope that they get out, that you guys can laugh, because we're gonna keep it real, okay? We're gonna keep it real, because I understand this topic is just a lot. So let's start with things people have shared with me, or even thoughts that I've had myself. The things that people hate about being single, one of the things that they always talk about is like, I miss the interaction, I miss the attention of having someone, just message me all day and check in on me and say that I'm beautiful, and guys, I'm speaking to the girls right now, but for guys, that they're handsome. And so I just want to say, I understand. I am human. I have needs, desires, and wants as well. And I'm all woman, okay? So I understand. That's one of the things. Going out on dates. This is what most people who are single hate. It's like, I just want somebody to take me out. I've actually had people say, I just need somebody to take me out on a date, and then never call me again or never interact. They just want someone to go out with and interact with. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. I've also heard people say, I hate that around the holidays, people, in particular, Thanksgiving, I don't have anyone to bring with me to the holidays, so my family looking at me funny like, you still single? Or like, what's going on with you? You can't catch no man? And one of the bigger things I would say is people say they hate being lonely. They hate the feeling of like, I'm lonely. I don't have the human interaction from a romantic standpoint, and that bothers me. And I take all this in consideration as a single woman. I understand there are a lot of these things that I've experienced myself, and I can empathize with, right? But this video is not about all of the things we hate about being single. This video is about how to be content while you're single. So we're gonna knock out the first thing, the lack of attention. Sis, write out what you want to hear, okay? So if you are angry that you don't have the lack of attention or someone is not saying something, there are apps where it'll give you motivational pop-ups on your phone, and it's like some inspiring words or some words of affirmation. Write that out. Go in the Word of God and get what God says, who you are, the woman that you are, and who He designed you to be. Go in His Word and then write those out. Have sticky notes. I have sticky notes all over my apartment. Like, write out something like, you're beautiful. You are, you're made to inspire. You are loved by God. Like, write those and have those all over. I know some people who keep sticky notes in their cars, right? They'll have them all over the dashboard and things. And so it's a constant reminder. If you wanting someone to blow you up, blow yourself up. And so to speak, like, encourage yourself, and that right there, it just knocks out that whole, like, I hate that, well, combat that with encouraging words. And then, surround yourself around people. If your love language is words of affirmation, surround yourself with people who can esteem you, and lift you up. But be able to do that for yourself. Another thing is going out on dates. I personally take myself out on dates almost weekly. Yep, sure do. I love getting my nails done, so sometimes I count that as a date, like self-care. So I'll go get my nails done, get my feet done, and I'll just sit out and, and go out somewhere fancy to eat. Y'all, I would do my hair and style it a certain way, wear pretty dress. Like, I'm a person who just goes to the store and just buy dresses, okay? I'll buy outfits, dresses, pieces, even if there's nothing that I have to go to, because nothing to go to, you make things to go to. And I will treat myself. I will go out and say, you know what, instead of spending this amount of money this week, I'm going to spend some money on myself. And I take myself out on dates. And if I can be honest with you guys, which I am, those are my most favorite times, because I'm with myself. I'm alone with myself. And I know the way I want to be treated, when I'm in a relationship. I know that I want, to go somewhere nice to eat, or I want to be able to get my nails done, my hair, and feel great. When you do things for yourself, you feel better about yourself. And so I would encourage you, take yourself out on a date, sis. If you ain't been out on a date in I don't know how long, take yourself out. I put it in my budget so that I can take myself out at least 2 to 3 times a month. Sometimes I'll do more, like I'll get my nails done. That's just a standing appointment. But as far as like going out somewhere, take yourself out. Take yourself out, So me and some of my friends, we would go out, like, cause we have dates, and so we would go out, and we call it like Galentine's Day or whatever. It's like where your girls hang out and stuff like that. And we actually went out and dressed up, and we drove a distance from home, found this nice little spot to eat, and we just like kicked it, laughed, and just cracking up, having the best time. So take yourself out on dates, or even call up your homegirls and be like, girl, let's go somewhere. Let's just get cute. Let's just get cute and just go somewhere. And so I would encourage you, do that. That, if you want the human interaction. Holidays, we gonna talk about holidays. Woo! Okay, first of all, don't let your family pressure you into thinking you have to have somebody on your arms, okay, to be legitimate, okay? Don't let you know how many times people be trying to put babies in my womb? Even though technically I already have them. But do you know how many times people are like, the pressure of being single? And this is also for family members. If this video is come across you and come to you, and you're a person who is not single, and you happen to watch this video, don't be pressuring your friends. Don't be pressuring your sister or your brothers or whoever. Don't be pressuring them to hurry up and find a relationship. Don't do that. You don't know what season people are entering. It's unnecessary pressure they don't need. Society already is putting so many demands on single people, okay? You know, it's so much. Or like, oh, you single? What's going on? And then don't get to a certain age, okay? Then they start counting how many kids you can have based on your age and doing all. Don't do that. Don't do that. And if you're a mother, don't do that to your daughter. A father, don't do that to your daughter. I could joke about it. I know my dad wouldn't mind. But he cracked me up. One time he was like, girl, hurry up and bring me my grandbaby so I can see him. And I'm like, well, I gotta have my husband first. So it's almost indicating that I'm hindering when I'm supposed to be found. I'm hindering you from seeing your grandbabies. And so in a sense, like, he said it, he was joking, and I laughed and snickered because in my mind I was like, yeah, that is funny. But when you think about it, if I was a person who struggled in my season of singleness, and I've had my time of struggle, okay, trust me, but I'm in a place where I am embracing where I am, and that's going to lead me to my next thought in a minute. But if I was a person struggling with that could trip people up. And I think a lot of times people who vow to keep themselves from marriage and things like that, and vow to not get caught in going back to old stuff or old relationships because they're lonely, they slip up because of pressures, a lot of times not even just with themselves but outside pressure, and they feel like, you know what, maybe I do need to get this field today, maybe I do need to have this experience, or maybe I do need to just call Rodney, because even though Rodney ain't do me right, I'm gonna call him up because at least he available, at least he consistently not doing me right. Yeah, you don't want to be a hindrance for somebody else's growth. So just be mindful that, you know, and when you're communicating with people who are single, and watch how you communicate with them when it comes to relationships. And not everybody's single that's sensitive. I wouldn't consider myself a sensitive single, but I'm very mindful of the season I am in, and I am mindful of other people who may be single, okay? And so, leading into my other thought, these are the things that I embrace, because I love to have a conversation where I can give you all a little bit of who I am and how I've coped with different things. And I would say the things that I've gotten from my season of singleness, I have this freedom. I have this freedom to discover who I am and what I desire and how I want to be loved. A lot of times we are in relationships and we receive the love of just based on what they can give us, and we don't know that we want something different until you experience different types of love, or you're in a situation where you're able to love yourself and you're not in a relationship and you don't have that pressure, and you find out things about yourself. You find out that I think I want this type of approach when it comes to this. I know that I deserve this sort of love, or this is the love that I would love to receive, and this is my love language, and I want it to be, you know, the love to come this way. And when you're single, you have that freedom to discover yourself. You have the freedom to discover what you want. What do you want in life? What do you like? Without the pressure, without someone else, and without timelines. You know, I'm in this relationship, and he wants to, be serious, and then at this point he wants to be able to do this, and then marriage may be at this point, and then you got all of this pressure, and you're like, okay, let me hurry and get to this point, because in this time I'm going to have to be there so that I can meet him there. And a lot of times it just adds pressure. So there's that freedom when you're a single person to discover yourself. I have another thing. I have time to invest in my future. I have time to invest in myself. Like, I like nice things. I love fashion. I've mentioned it before. I love fashion. And I get the opportunity to just go and explore. Like right now, I'm on a business trip, and I know a couple of people who are in trip with me, and they're like, I have to drive back home. I can't stay in the hotel because I have a family, I have kids, I have a husband, I have this, I have that, and I have to make sure I do this or I have to do that. So I don't have that time to truly immerse myself into something that I'm working towards, because I do have demands or something pulling me this way, or that way. And so, or this way, with kids. And so, so when you're single, you have that freedom. and I can invest in my goals and dreams, and I mean, invest financially. Okay, let me tell y'all something. You know, because when I was like in relationship, money, okay, dates and stuff, okay, 2 people, you know what I'm saying, like movie nights every other day, you know, stuff like that. Like that right there, that can get pricey. There's so many benefits, okay, and just embracing where you are. I get to take, like I said, myself out on dates. I get to enjoy my own company. That's another thing. I think a lot of times people feel or place people in spots and holes that God has already allowed to be a void just for him to fill it, but they push people and try to cram them because it never fits properly, because they're not, that cutout is not for them, it's for God. And a lot of times people push people in those holes because they don't want to be alone with themselves. They don't enjoy their own company. How would you expect someone else to enjoy your company? You don't enjoy your own company. Like, how do you expect someone to, you know, to fully, you know, get to know you when you don't know yourself? You don't know yourself. You don't know what you like, who you are, and what you want in life. And so I thank God for the season of singleness that I am in, because I don't feel bad that I'm like letting my children down because mommy needs this, you know, time. Mommy needs to be able to just, you know, focus for one day in this area, but I have you know, pulling at me, like, you know, and I have responsibilities. I don't have to feel bad from walking away from my children, you know, because I'm going into, you know, work and things like that, and where I'm immersing myself in something and I'm feeling bad about myself, you know, because I have a lot that I want to do, but I know that I'm kind of limited. And children are a blessing, and family is a blessing, and relationships is a blessing, right? But it's also to whom much is given, much is required. And so I really believe that being single allows you should really be able to enjoy your own company and be okay with being with yourself. And I think when we're okay with being with ourselves, we don't rush into relationships, or we don't accept a lot of stuff. I did a video about ignoring the red flags in relationships, and I think a lot of times we ignore red flags because we really we're like, but at least I got somebody. Yeah, but you really don't like being with that person. So you might have that person, but you don't enjoy their company. And so why have someone that, you know, why be in a situation where you with someone and you don't even enjoy their company? I think when you are in a relationship, the truth is that is a distraction. I remember trying to go to school. I worked 2 jobs. It might have been 3. I know I worked 2 jobs, at least 2 jobs. I was in school and I was trying to have a relationship. And I remember there was always this time management struggle. Oh my gosh. And then I always felt like I was, you know, I could be allocating my time in doing this, but then I'm like, oh, but I haven't seen them or I haven't talked to him in like 6 hours, or I haven't talked to him. You know, it was like this constant like battle, and I was torn between like, man, this is what I really want to do, and oh my gosh, I love his company. Oh my gosh, but I really need to do this. Okay, I'm really no good to him if I don't have this part of my life taken care of. And it's like that constant toil, and it really, quite frankly, was a distraction for me. It was a distraction for me, and for him too. If he can be, you know, if he, you know, really thought about the whole thing, it was a distraction for him too. And I think those are some of the things that we hear a lot of people who are single that like they complain about and things like that. And trust me, again, I understand what it's like to be frustrated. I understand what it's like to say, you know, okay, Lord, when is this man coming? Okay, you know, when will the season be over? And I'm saying to you that embrace where you are now. Trust God enough that you don't know where or what God is trying to get you to get to, or get inside of you, so that you don't, when you get to where you're supposed to get to, or when you have that relationship, you don't destroy it. A lot of times we destroy our relationships because it's out of season. Wonderful person, amazing relationship, but just not the time. And so I just wanted to share that with you all. I hope that it was inspiring. I hope that you all could, you understand where I'm coming from, that it's all love, but just a takeaway. Embrace the season you're in. Trust God and be patient. Just be patient. It's going to come. It's going to be, okay. And don't let nobody pressure you. Don't let nobody pressure you. So anyway, I hope you guys like this video. If you do, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification. And if y'all like what y'all see, why don't y'all just go ahead in the comment section and say more of this, or give me some topics that you guys want me to address. If I can give my opinion or give some wisdom, or at least what I know or my experience, I will definitely do that for you all. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.
Hold up. Yeah, I do not come from here. I see my home from here. Spent some time overseas. That's how I started the year.